Let's take a look at my favorite of the 4 new Streetpass games. This one called Monster Manor, as you can see, and we're going to go into it with 7 people. I'm wearing a palm tree on my head this time. And this is a little bit, well, I guess that might vaguely remind you of Luigi's Mansion, but it's its own game, and it is quite a good one. It's made by Prope, which is run by Yuji Naka, the guy who created Sonic the Hedgehog, or at least is responsible for directing the original major Sonic the Hedgehog games. And this is a game I've talked about in some of the other Streetpass games. Some of them are good for having lots of friends that you've Streetpassed with. Some are good for having one friend that you've Streetpassed with a lot. This one, there are benefits for both of those things. And you're going to see all that come through. So going in with 7 people out of a maximum of 10 is going to be beneficial to me. And then you're going to see that I have a couple of veteran Streetpass friends who are going to help me out as well. There's a lot going on. This is the deepest of all of the games. And you're going to see some elements of puzzle gaming, of turn-based RPG, actually quite a lot of RPG stuff. But the basics are that we're trying to go 30 stories up in a mansion, in a haunted mansion. And the game is taking place floor by floor. And the quest that we have at any moment is really to working on the grid that we have of the floor on the lower screen, finding this staircase. We want to find the staircase, and then once we do that, we're allowed to go to the next floor up. But you don't know where it's going to be. So what you do is you talk to the people that you're street passing with, and you take a piece. So this person is offering a little square piece. Now this is a person I've only street passed with one time, so they only offer me one piece. And you'll see that people I've street passed with a bunch of times are going to offer me a bunch of pieces. And you're going to see why that's relevant, because what I'm trying to do here is a little Tetris-y, and then I'm trying to lay down the piece. You see this in the upper screen, but you can see it on the lower screen as well. I'm going to try to extend the hallway part of the floor so that I can finally figure out where the staircase is. And any part of the black I can illuminate, but it's beneficial for me to match colors and create a bigger rectangle out of a single color. So this person had a blue shirt on, so they had a blue piece. If I put it here, that'll make a bigger rectangle, and every time you create a 2x2 square, you generate a treasure chest. This may sound like a lot of stuff I'm throwing at you right away, but it'll make sense as we go through the other pieces. Look what's in the treasure chest, a rusty blaster. So not a very good weapon. Yes, there's combat in the game, and you're collecting a lot of loot. And there are stats for each thing that you collect, XP that you can fill up in order to raise the level, or fill out the level. There's actually ways to craft weapons into better weapons that do raise the max levels. There's different perks that guns can have. But in this case, I don't really care about this rusty blaster, so I'm going to keep the atomic ray gun equipped. So I'm actually sending that to my extra dimensional box because I have a finite amount of inventory, and we're moving on. This is not a game that you play when you just have a couple of minutes of time because you just street pass with a couple of people. So let's get into a little bit more of the strategy here. So now I'm going to street pass with Tina, and I have street passed with her 11 times. She sits right next to me, that's why. So she's actually offering me a whole bunch of pieces. So what do I want to do? I want to reveal as much of the floor as possible, so I want to use one of the bigger pieces. I also notice that I don't have anybody else wearing a white shirt in my queue, so there's not going to be any advantage to trying to cluster her piece with somebody else's piece to make an even bigger rectangle. So I'll put down a square, and I'm going to put it down here. Now, because I'm creating a 2x2 grid, I'm also going to generate a spot for a treasure chest, or in this case, I didn't know, it'd be random, so it's an orb, but there's also an enemy. So yet another detail here is that randomly, anytime that you uncover parts of the floor, you also may trigger an enemy encounter. In this case, this skeleton is trying to slap me. So I can defend with the L trigger and hold up a block, and I can shoot with the A button. You may notice that there are battery icons on the top left. So they drain, as long as I'm holding down the block, they drain. And if I'm charging my weapon, they drain. But the longer I charge, the more powerful the shot. Different weapons have different properties, different weapons have different weaknesses, different enemies have different weaknesses. So there's different strategy to figuring out, okay, which weapon do I want to use against which guy? I could flip through and I could be activating other things. I have power-ups and items, I have badges equipped that change my stats. Yes, again, like I said, lots of RPG aspects to all of this. Now, in this case, this guy isn't that tough. And I am just going to shoot him to death with some decent shots here. Well, actually, I said he wasn't tough, and then I got whacked a couple times. If you lose all of your health points while you're on a given floor, it's going to close out your session. So you're hoping to actually survive the whole experience on the floor before getting to the stairwell. And then if you get to the stairwell, they'll refill all your HP. They'll actually raise your HP limit, and you'll be more powerful, or at least have better health when you go to the next level. Oh, and now I have another enemy attacking me. So the levels are getting harder as I go up. So now I have this box of books. Up until this floor, and I think it's like the 6th or 7th floor, up until this floor, the game had actually been fairly easy, and it's become more difficult. This Pyrotech pack has an arrow up, which means it's better against books. Obviously, books are flammable. This game is very much about physics. Bad joke, sorry. But I think this gun might be too weak to make much of a dent. So I'm trying to get my battery power up. Let's see, yeah, I'm not feeling like this is going to be very good. So I'm going to go back to my much more powerful shock weapon. I have a weapon that actually leeches HP off of the guys I shoot, but I don't think I want to waste my time on that one. I think my best strategy here is going to be to charge up a couple of big attacks if I can get the big attack in. Yes. And now try to fill my batteries back out. Wait until he does a big attack. Then charge up. Get to the first threshold. Big hit. I'll just want to do one more of those. Let's see if I can get it. So enemy encounters, again, are random. So you won't always have one, as you saw, I guess, from the first move that I made in the game. You won't always run into an enemy. I'm getting an extra bit of points here because I've almost leveled up the weapon. Because I was unharmed, there's extra perks that you can get if you, or XP bonuses if you finish the enemy off in one shot. So we're going to try to, I guess, zip through. Oh, forgot yet another thing. So I did uncover the upgrade weapon thing, and I'll show you that as quickly as I can. I actually have 2 weapons of the same type. You can combine any weapons, and one weapon will be destroyed and combine into the other. But if you combine 2 weapons of the exact same type, in this case the Pyrotech pack, and I upgrade Pyrotech +1 with the Pyrotech pack +1, what should happen is that because they're the same gun, I raise the max level. So that's now a max level 20 Pyrotech pack, so, and a +2, that's nice. And I've now gone to a C quality weapon instead of a D quality weapon. So there's some strategy there. But I'd lose a bunch of gems. So this game, as I was saying, is one that I think we're done there. Yes. This is a game that is gonna really pull you in for a fairly long gaming session. This person's got a pretty good shaped piece. What I try to do is have, and maybe I'll show you this soon after I place this one down. Hopefully I'm not going to have another enemy encounter. Yeah, we're good. What I try to do is cluster people who are wearing the same color shirts together. And so in this case, I'm going to send Jason to the back. And this person's wearing lime green, so I'll take her square. And I'm going to put it, I'm on floor 9, that's what it is, okay. I'm going to put it here, and the character's going to walk to it. Getting another unusual thing which occurs here. I'm actually encountering somebody at a Streetpass book. And occasionally when you do that, the person may then come along with you into your next battle. In other cases, the person may, I'm sending him to the back so I can get the next lime green person. In other cases, they may just give you an item. So there's a bunch of different things happening there, but you can go into battle with other people. So this is great. This person has a 1x2 piece, and I want to make those rectangles bigger and bigger so that I can reveal the treasure chests and the gem crafting things. And so that's going to do it. It's going to reveal another treasure chest. And the bigger you make those rectangles, the better the treasure chests are. They have better loot in them, from what I can tell. In my experience, potion is more than welcome. And let's see. I can go through a couple more, but I think you get the basic idea. This is a long session game, a deep game, a lot of gameplay happening here. I don't even have enough time. I think we've already gone plenty of time to show you the basics of it, but I highly recommend it as if you're looking for complexity, if you're looking for innovative use of Streetpass, if you're looking for a game that rewards having lots of friends you Streetpass with, as well as people you Streetpass with against, all combines really well. My favorite Streetpass game of the bunch.